What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I just finished watching the new season's end of The Mandalorian, and that's where real men cried. It was a roller coaster of emotions. Seriously, don't put spoilers in the comment section. I hate spoilers a lot, but it was insane. That being said, just like that roller coaster of emotions, we have a roller coaster of prices up and down here on the market. Rise of the Duelist. We see Triple Tactics talent at $110, nearing the max that it ever was. This is insane. Then we see Forbidden Droplet here approaching 100 itself. Nadir's Servant near $90. Ice Dragon's Prison near 40. If you have kept the top end of Rise of the Duelist, you have freaking stonks, and they've been paying off. But they've also been paying off in the metagame. I've been testing with Talents and Droplet and Ice Dragon's Prison. All are crazy, valuable, awesome cards within the metagame, and it feels like Konami's done a good job creating these staple-ish cards, but they're at the top end of the set, and it makes you miss special editions until you realize, wow, if we had Phantom Rage special editions that our shop would be stuck with, that's what you would be getting for your tournaments for a very long time to come, wouldn't it? So I hope Konami finds a balance in reprinting these sets so prices don't get this freaking absurd and stay there. And another funny note is that the Starlight market is falling out pretty extensively, although with Talents going up over here, people started eyeing the Starlights once again, the $360 copies disappearing once again, and we see 400 and quickly towards almost 5 motivated sellers here left over as we head towards a new age of Trip Tactics talent finally reaching that pinnacle. What do you guys think of Rise of the prices as it is, and how this set has actually panned out? Really one of the best sets of almost all time, just in terms of its card creation and how impactful it has been. Cyber Dragon Nashter is up in price, and this is one of the last pieces that hasn't been reprinted. We've had emergency reprinted multiple times. This came out of Dual Power, and it's just continuously, like, even after Orcus, just started to creep back up and find its way up. We do see motivated sellers that have foreign copies here on market for sale, 300 of them at 10 a piece in French from Chow Productions, and then other French ones at 13 before it is in English around the $15 mark. So if you want to carry translations or keep your phone charged up to use Neuron to translate your cards for you at events when they're back, you do have a little bit of a cheaper option, 33% off, of course using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. OTS Pack 14 has minimal movement. The beer's actually fallen down about right where I called it, the $80 mark. Super Poly's gone down further, but that's kind of to be expected. It's been wavering back and forth. People are talking about it as an option for this format, but I haven't seen it pan out too much yet. Toon Kingdom near 40. The secret rare was worth more, so this is kind of eyebrow raising, but the real story here is Parallel Exceed, exceeding expectations, an amazing card that you would play 2 to 3 of anyways, and it is around the $7 plus mark, especially with that news of Firewall Dragon working with Cyverse. Oh my gosh, I think Parallel Exceed is something to keep an eye on, and the super rare, I mean, the common is just way too easy to pull out of Eternity Code, and it could age eventually, but you could just get so many. You would see every box opening, like 5 to 6 of them. 2 playsets per box was crazy, but the super rare, the hollowed out version, that's only from OTS Pack 14, which has been a little bit hard to get, except through the mail on these online tournaments. Every version of Blue Eyes White Dragon seems to be going up right now. I showed the Duelist Saga buyout, and now we see Legendary Collection Kaiba. While the Unlimited isn't really wavering, there's not a single first edition on TCG Player anymore. So if you want to be the first listing back, good luck on making that sale. But it really seems like people are one-for-oneing this with Charizard when there's so many copies with the same art of this Blue Eyes, which is where it's a little bit different from Charizard and Pokemon to here. But people do love their Blue Eyes. This is people's favorite art for the most part, as they proclaim. The Ultimate Rare Blue Eyes, which has the tablet in the back, also had a huge buyout on the first edition, so where they are $40 and then $50. I think I actually have a ton of this first edition structure deck somewhere in a closet that I'll have to go check for soon. But Kaiba Reloaded wasn't as desirable at first because Yugi Reloaded had stuff like Common Dark Magician Girl, when Dark Magician Girl wasn't so common. And you were able to rip open the Yugi starter deck and sell to buy list and break even on both structure decks with leftovers from the Yugi starter deck and get the Kaiba ones for free back in the day. Now, we turn to the reverse. Blue Eyes are stonks, and Kaiba Reloaded is doing pretty well for itself. Let's see if there's actually any first eds on market. I'm just a little bit curious. Are these all unlims? These are probably unlims, but yeah, you can still get the unlimited ultimate relatively easy, and if we're looking at the price, it's actually under market price, I think, in the 6s, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 630, and then it starts to go up somewhat quickly as well. Next up, I want to talk about the roller coaster ride down. Almost every single Starlight Rare is falling out. Win is now available for one of the first times, around 500 even for English near mint copies to people who want to complete their sets. This is kind of wild considering it held for 800 it's so long, and suddenly the Starlight, we can double sleeve now. We're not in trouble so much of these being identified in the deck. They solved that problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yet the market is just tanking across the board. Apollosa available around, oh, the 600 ones are gone. They were here, so people buying these back up to 800. Interesting. That moved very fast. These were available around 630. We showed it on stream, and they're kind of going, gone. Then you look around the lowest end, and it's absurd. Look at Alpha. There was one at $136. That's unfathomable to me. But 150, 150, 155, 165. This is what trash Starlights were worth not too long ago. Not a Starlight you would want in play sets out of a set, but Phantom Rage has bottomed out so bad overall that you're able to get boxes. And I actually have a suggestion for both this and Genesis Impact. While I wouldn't buy necessarily the sealed and the deck cores, What's Good 10 works till the end of the month over on Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily. For whole cases of this, Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily also has them pretty cheap, but What's Good 10 won't work on the cases, unfortunately. You could actually buy either Genesis Impact and Phantom Rage cases, not to break open, but to get high-end gifts, quote unquote, at like $48 a piece for the homies. So that's the only reason I think I would buy sealed right now, not to bust open or have fun with a scratch off for yourself, but actually to have 12 different boxes for 12 different Yu-Gi-Oh! Homies at one of the more affordable prices right now. You want to be that nice friend that got everyone a whole box instead of a couple of packs. Smile if you can afford it. But that being said, I think with the Starlight market falling out and the chase card within the sets falling out here, like Zeus, this is crazy. This should be a $500 card in my opinion. $270 because of the situation right now where everybody overinvested in Phantom Rage, a set that has a top tier deck and generic-ish top end cards, and here we see Phantom Rage, it's really hurting as the rest of the Starlight market just falls out disproportionately, putting things at the very bottom level and nearing back to the old days. I remember when trash Starlights were $60, they were back a box. It's still double of that, but we're kind of in danger of heading back to that area unless Deep Pockets or somebody goes huge into that market. Kind of wild. Dude, look at Torn Scale. I've said this time and time again, 155 for a card like this and Alpha. As Starlight Rares, it's kind of mind-blowing here. Also, Genesis Impact's fallout has been crazy. Nightmare Unicorn at 65, Nightmare Phoenix at 55. Actually, under the Drytron stuff, you're looking at, if you get a chase collector rare, at barely getting your box back. Although, actually, let me do the math on this. 580, I think it's around $48 a box or something if you're getting the discount. But imagine if you were spending $60 a box. So divide by 12, that is $48.33. So you have to get one of these collector rares to get your box back. And that is, to be fair, 8 different collector rares, over half of them right now. But to get your box back, you only get a collector rare in 1 out of every 3 boxes, and it replaces the ultra rare. It's kind of just really bad estimated value pulled, and collector rares seem to be going downhill as well in their market. Look at this, honor release $25. It's just crazy. But we do have a little movement upwards with Drytron Nova. It went up towards 30, already creeping back down as competition ramps up. People are busting this just to try not to make a loss and make a quicker sale, since the sealed isn't moving as much. And you can see over here, actually, boxes around the 48. Is that shipped? Are we just crazy? Everybody's letting it go? Yeah, 48 over here too. Wow, the market is just eating itself on these sets and trying to get their money back. And the Evil Twin engine might be one of the best looks at my player brain can get me in trouble, like I've said, really good future potential engine that might not get reprinted for a long time, especially with these prices, that could see its day in the sunlight. But Drytron for a meta deck, looking really well priced, and what I was trying to show off is they've just repriced the Drytron deck cores at $145, and What's Good 10 also stacks, even with that upped price on Drytron Nova. Next up, Legendary Collection 10, oh, and that's over at Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily. Legendary Collection Kaiba has actually been up a lot. We mentioned the Blue Eyes earlier, but just multiple cards on the higher end have been getting bought out or spiking in price, especially for first edition, and the sealed Kaiba collection we showed off a while ago has gone up. So we're seeing like spikes in prices. I told you guys to get this at 2 to 3 a while ago, a little double up there over time, and many of the cards just looking like they're sitting pretty, except for Droll and Lockbird because it got a reprint. But yeah, a lot of the set, it's looking pretty good, and it makes me want to look through the lower end and kind of make my considerations as well for penny stonks. And finally, Dark Sage. People were asking me what I feel about this game promo, and when I look at something this old, to get it near mint, near the price of the game, because the games realistically, most of them don't hold the value, well, to be $35, I honestly think that's an okay buy. When you're talking about you have collectability with a moment in the show, with a special game promo, with the top end version of a Dark Magician collectible, I actually don't think that's a bad buy, and that's near its market price for a reason. So if you are looking for your collection and trying to make it the best it can be in terms of, should I wait on this? Could it go down? The answer is unlikely on a lot of collectibles. They might simmer a little bit, but they're more due to respike than just crash. People want this bubble to crash. Oh, it's going to pop. People don't realize Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets multiple bubbles, and thus there's a layer of protection where one bubble pops, it rests back on the other, and then floats back up into a new bubble. That's even when multiple bubbles pop, it usually lines back up a little bit higher than where it was bought out. So do consider that. There's one bubble, another, and then there's protection on those bubbles. It's not just like something that's as easy to pop anymore, and a bunch of these are suddenly going to appear from some factory. That being said, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. I know it's been a ride of ups and downs. Starlight down, Collector Rare down, Genesis Impact, Phantom Rage down, but then Rise of the Duelist and other hollowed out / unique pieces to fan favorite decks are up. It's been a ride. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the conversations, and let me know what you think of what's going on.